Welcome back, hunters, to Supernaturalist, the podcast where we dive into the lore, legends, and monsters behind every episode of Supernatural. Today, we're standing at a lonely crossroads under a full moon because we're talking about Season 2, Episode 8, Crossroad Blues. This is the episode where the show fully embraces one of the most enduring legends in American folklore, the deal with the devil at the crossroads. It's about ambition and what people are willing to trade when they're out of time, when they need something desperately. And in this story, the currency is always the same: your soul. The legend of the crossroads. Long before Supernatural, the crossroads was a place of power and danger in folklore. In African American blues tradition, a person could go to a crossroads at midnight, play a song, and summon a dark figure who would grant them fame or talent in exchange for their soul. This legend is most famously tied to blues musician Robert Johnson, who is mentioned in the show in this episode. He was said to have had sold his soul for extraordinary skill. But the crossroads isn't just an American myth. In European folklore, crossroads were believed to be places where spirits gathered. They were boundaries between worlds. They were sites where demons could be summoned. And they were where the dead were sometimes buried because they didn't belong in consecrated ground. Evil people, that sort of thing. At Crossroads represents a choice, a literal and symbolic intersection where paths and fates diverge. Supernatural takes the rich tradition and gives it teeth. In Crossroad Blues, the monster isn't just one creature. It's actually a system. The Crossroads demon appears as a beautiful woman, seductive and friendly, offering exactly what people think they want: health, success, love, talent, revenge even. But the price is always the same: 10 years of your heart's desire, then hell comes to collect. These demons specialize in contract magic, soul bargaining, manipulation through hope, and exploring grief and desperation. They don't need to force it. They let humans destroy themselves willingly. And that's what they do when they summon a crossroads demon. Now for the human cost. We're taking a look at Evan Hudson. His life was falling apart. His wife was dying of cancer. They didn't have money. There was no cure, and there was no hope. And then everything changed. She's cured. He's wealthy. Life is perfect. A little bit too perfect. Sam and Dean uncovered the truth. Evan made a crossroad deal 10 years ago, and now his time is up. The hellhounds are coming to drag him to hell very soon. And this happened with other people in the show as well. An architect, a doctor. They all found their fate. This is where the episode becomes heartbreaking, as I said. Evan didn't sell his soul for fame or ego. He sold it for love, for his wife's life. And that makes this tragedy hit a little bit harder. Hellhounds are demons you can't see. And one of the most terrifying aspects of this episode is the introduction of hellhounds. In supernatural lore, hellhounds are invisible to most humans, except those who are on the list at that moment. They're enormous demonic dogs. They're bound to collect souls when the deals are up, and they're capable of ripping a person apart both physically and spiritually. They're inspired by mythological black dogs like the Grim, Black Shuck, Cerberus, and the Devil's Hunting Hounds in British folklore. You hear them before you see them. They growl, they bark, there's claws on concrete, there's breath in the dark, and when they arrive, your time is over. So 10 years later, the inevitable collection. Sam and Dean try everything to break the contract between the demon and Evan. They use salt circles, iron, exorcism, and even dealing with the demon herself. This is what Dean does. It doesn't work out so well. But in Supernatural, deals made with crossroad demons are almost always unbreakable. Even when they kill the demon holding the contract, the deal remains because somebody else holds that contract. Hell keeps meticulous records, let's just say that. The system is bigger than any one demon. They're just salespeople. And that's made mention. For the moral core, why does this episode matter? Crossroads Blues isn't just about demons. It's about the human fear of loss, the temptation to cheat death, the belief that love justifies anything, and the tragic idea that we can outsmart fate. It asks the haunting question: if you had the power to save the person you love, would you damn yourself to do it? Evan did, and Dean would too. And I'll be honest with you, I have thought about it numerous times to become a wealthy and famous author. It's just a thought. It's never going to happen, but this episode plants the emotional seed for what Dean will eventually choose when it's Sam's life that's on the line. And we'll get there. For Sam, he sees how easily love becomes leverage for hell all the time. For Dean, he realizes something terrifying about himself. He understands the crossroad mindset. He understands the choice. And he knows deep down that he would make the same deal when given that opportunity. So what about demon contracts in myth? Across cultures, soul contracts appear in Faustian legends, medieval grimoires, witchcraft traditions, and Christian demonology. They always follow the same pattern. The demon can't lie about the terms. The human chooses this freely of their own free will. The payment is eternal, and the contract is magically binding. Supernatural stays very true to this tradition. You get what you ask for. You don't get what you think you're getting. That's where it gets tricky. Now it's time for fun facts and behind the scenes. The blues influence. This episode title and the music pay homage to Robert Johnson's legendary Crossroad myth. The invisible hellhounds. The decision not to show the hellhounds visually made them far scarier. Sound design alone created the terror. Latin contracts. The demon contracts are written in real Latin legal phrasing, modeled after historical occult texts. Demon introduction. This episode establishes Crossroad demons as a recurring class of demon throughout the series. Then there's emotional foreshadowing. Dean's reaction to Evan's deal directly foreshadows his own soul bargain later in the season. The filming location, the Crossroad scene, was filmed on a closed rural highway. The intersection was enhanced with practical fog and lighting. It was the perfect place. The demon's look. The Crossroads demon is friendly, flirtatious. Her demeanor was intentionally designed to contrast with the traditional horned devil imagery. And thank goodness for that. Now for my closing thoughts. Crossroad Blues reminds us that hell doesn't always come with fire and screams. Sometimes it comes with a kiss, a smile, and a promise. And the most dangerous words in the supernatural and in life are, "I can fix this." Because every crossroads is a choice, and every choice has a cost. Until next time, hunters, if you hear a voice at the crossroads offering everything you ever wanted, walk away. Thank you for taking the time to watch this episode of Supernaturalist. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with someone you think may enjoy it. Thank you, and have a great holiday weekend.